Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another trade recap. I know it's been a very long time since I've really posted anything on this channel, and I just kind of needed, I guess, somewhat of a mental break. But I'm back. We're back in business. I'm here to show you guys what trades I took this week. I had a really good week. I took a break-even trade on Monday, win Tuesday, win Thursday, or sorry, win Tuesday, win Wednesday, win Thursday, and a Friday. So one break-even day this week, and the rest were wins. I took one loss, one losing trade this week, which I will go ahead and show you. But real quick, let's just go ahead and get into the start of the week, basically, what the trade that I did take at the beginning of the week. So here is Monday right here. So if let me just go back real quick just so I could show you the sessions. Okay. So coming into this day on Monday, right? You can see we formed Asia's range. Okay, we came up into Asia's range. Didn't really do too much. We're kind of range bound. So what happened here and what I was paying attention to, are we gonna get any SMTs that are gonna tell us that we're gonna go down? Not really. We didn't get any SMTs there. But what we did get was this 30-minute gap that was holding price down. So we got this 30-minute gap right here. See on the 5-minute, we end up holding that, but the 30-minute rejects. That ends up pushing us down to the Asia lows. Obviously, I'm not taking a trade in this. I'm waiting till AM or possibly a pre-market setup, but I just never saw anything super good that I wanted to take. So I just ended up waiting till the morning to take a trade. So we create the Asia range, like I said, come up to the 30-minute, rebalance down. We sweep out the Asia lows, and then we accumulate in London, or accumulate before taking the low, sorry. We reaccumulate again, and then we come back up, pump up, take the London highs, right? And then we come up and take the Asia highs. So we can already identify that, okay, this might be a lower probability day just because of the fact that London came down, swept Asia lows. You might be like, okay, whatever. Well, now we might leave London for later, but then what happens is we come up and sweep Asia highs. So it's like, okay, logically speaking, if we came up, swept Asia highs, we're likely, probably, maybe gonna come down to sweep the London lows, which is what we do before the market even opens. Or well, technically the market opened at 9:30 here, and then basically just sold off to the London lows. So at this point, I'm thinking to myself, okay, logically speaking here, right? We swept out the London lows. What is likely to happen? We're either going to continue, right, down to the lunch and AM lows from Friday and maybe this low here, or we're just going to continue back up or chop. So at this point, I'm just kind of waiting for just more confirmation. I'm just waiting for more price to tell me what it wants to do, right? So now that I've realized, okay, we've swept out the London lows. I'm pretty sure ES was doing like the same thing at the time. Okay, no, so we had an SMT, a bullish SMT at that time with the London lows. So I saw that. I saw this 15-minute gap hold here. This 15-minute fair value gap right here. We ended up holding that pretty nice. We had a big 30-minute as well, but I was just kind of waiting for the 15-minute. Just want to see what we were doing off of that. And what happens here is we get an inversion off of this leg here, but at the same time, the 15-minute candle opened here, right? We printed lower, kind of went up, and now we're back inside of it. The 15-minute candle at this point is still bearish, right? And TradingView is weird, and it's showing that it's up here right now, but at this time, the 50-minute candle was still bearish. So I wasn't trying to long anything yet, just because it was a doji basically, right, when I tried, if I were to long it here. So I was just waiting, and obviously also ES did not really get a nice closure. We saw this volume imbalance that we didn't even close above yet. So I just wanted to sit out of this one. I didn't really think about taking it. And then what happened was, let me go back to here. So we got a one last manipulation lower right here on this candle. So we actually did have a bullish SMT, as you could see right here. We did not run that low on ES, but we did run that low on NQ. So small little SMT there inside that 15-minute, just kind of re-manipulation before going higher. Basically got a pullback right here again into this 15-minute gap. And then we inverse this 1 minute here. Yeah, this is what I saw, because here at 9:41, we didn't really get any solid closures. And this is when the 5-minute candle just opened. So we like opened higher, manipulated lower one more time. And so this new 5-minute candle right here opens lower. And then we get a move off of that. So scratch what I said there. I basically entered off of this inversion. And then right after that, we get a pump straight up to that high there. This is where I go break even. And then what happens, basically, I get stopped out at break even right there. It just took all day for it to hit. And yeah, there's one. And then we took out the other one right there. So, unfortunate BE day, but that's what it is. I ended with like $12 in profit. So, basically a break-even day. I think I moved my stop loss like right to the end of this gap right here. So, it wasn't like a negative day, but it was still, I didn't really make anything. So, yeah, next day. This was Tuesday. It's a bit different, a bit of a weird day. It was definitely something that I could have been a little bit more patient for in terms of waiting for setup. But basically speaking, all we did here was we swept out this internal high before the market opened. Okay. Swept out that internal high. We had, I'm pretty sure we had an SMT with ES. Okay, no, we did not, I guess. No SMT. Yeah. No SMT, so we were kind of just sitting in this range. We weren't really doing that much, to be honest. I did see the London highs, but what I noticed is that the London highs swept out the Monday's lunch high. So I saw that. We were also rejecting off of this hourly order block. So I wasn't, and also this 30-minute gap here. So I was like, okay, I don't know if I really want to be bullish today, just based off of what I'm seeing. Also, another kind of trick that I know and just kind of use a lot of the times is 8:30 open is right here. So we were trading below 8:30. So usually if we're trading below 8:30, you want to be more long biased. But also you want to look at the midnight open, right? The midnight open, we're also below the midnight open. So what I'm anticipating here is I'm just trying to catch a quick scalp to the Asia lows. And then from there, I was expecting, okay, we might end up seeing higher prices depending on how we react off of this level down here. And we also had a 1 hour gap down here as well in Asia. So I'm like, okay, cool. If we want to be bullish today, we'll probably come back down, sweep out the Asia lows, tap the 1 hour gap, and then make our move towards the London highs. So what I was watching coming into the morning was obviously we had this 5-minute candle that closed right after we opened. We formed a 5-minute gap here, which we came up, retested. And then on the 3-minute, was it on the 3-minute or was it on the 2-minute? Was it on the 2-minute? Or I'm tripping. Okay, yeah. We just had a 5-minute gap right here that I saw. We traded up into. Okay. Super choppy. Okay, come on, bro. Yeah, so super choppy inside of here. We did end up getting a 1-minute inversion, but we didn't get a solid closure, so I kind of just hesitated. I didn't really take that one, which is fine. But we did get displacement out of it. We did end up breaking below these lows as well. What I was also paying attention to was the fact that, what was it? I'm pretty sure. Okay, yeah. So, where was it? Here. What the fuck was this? I'm trying to remember. There we go. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, so we had a 5-minute gap up here. Right, we also had a breaker that we were rejecting off of, right? High, low, higher, high, lower, low. So 5-minute gap, breaker, we rejected it. So in my eyes, I'm like, okay, if we are truly bearish, we probably should not come up above this because we got the 5-minute tap, we got displacement away from it, closure below the low. And then I saw this 3-minute gap open. I'm like, okay, let's see if we can get anything out of this. So we come up, tap the 3-minute. As soon as we tap the 3-minute, I'm looking at the 1-minute time frame here. I'm going to see, okay, can we get a closure below this order block here? Can we get a closure below the sequence? You know, telling us that we want to continue lower, bearish, you know, order flow, blah, blah, blah. So what happens is we get a closure below that, and we also form a 5-minute order block after that 5-minute candle closes here. So after seeing that, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to put limits in this area right here because I'm just expecting price to rebalance up to that level and just continue to the Asia lows. Just a quick scalp for the day, which is exactly what we got. So we kind of hesitated a little bit, but by this point, come on, bro. When does this 5-minute candle fucking close, bro? Okay, right here. So at this point, I saw this 5-minute order block. I put my stops above the high. I told myself, okay, I don't want to, if this is invalidated, I don't want to see, or if it is invalidated, we will get a closure through mean threshold of this order block. So just 18-point stop loss, 25.5 point take profit. Just had my stop above there. It was a good trade in terms of like 10 a.m. opening higher to continue lower. But again, it could also be the 10 a.m. open lower to then go higher. Because remember, we were still trading below 8:30. We were still trading below midnight. There was a chance we could go higher today. I just wanted to get my trade over with because I had shit to do on Tuesday. So it wasn't about being impatient. I just was waiting for something. If I didn't get anything, then I probably would have just got off the charts and not traded. But ultimately, we end up respecting that. Comes close to the stop loss, but again, follow your rules, stick to your plan. And then what do you know? Price comes down, hits the take profit. That was the W for Tuesday. So coming into Wednesday, okay, what we did, very simple buy day. We had a London reversal, New York continuation. So you can see we sweep out the Asia lows. Very simple. We SMT with those as well. These lows over here on ES, this AM low was already taken, so I was expecting that to be protected, especially if we SMT with this. So I just waited for the open, right? We have our, we have this manipulation here. We have the accumulation, expansion, reaccumulation, and then New York just decided to fucking expand. No entries here at the open, but what I did end up seeing, y'all can call it fucking chasing. I don't really care what you say, but we were already so damn bullish, bro. Like, the fact that we opened this 5 minute, did not retrace, opened this 5 minute, did not retrace, opened this 5 minute, did not retrace, opened this 5 minute, but I took the trade before that 5 minute even opened. So let's take a look here. So on the 5 minute, obviously we opened this gap at 9:55 is when we opened that gap. So I was already in the trade before that. So I saw that we opened a 1 minute gap here. Nothing. Open another 1 minute gap. I'm like, all right, bet. Draw's right fucking here. I'm just going to enter in this 1 minute gap. Stop loss below this 1 minute gap because I was expecting that not to get tapped into. Especially since what? 9:55 is when we opened a new 5 minute. We tapped into it. I'm pretty sure I added another position here. And then, yeah, very simple. It just went straight to the highs. That's it. Very, very simple trade. I was off for the day. Made my money. Coming into Thursday. Yesterday, actually, all we did was we have an SMT at this high. At this time exactly, you could see at 9:30 we did not sweep out this high. We had a bearish SMT. So in my eyes, I was thinking, okay, if we have the previous day's high, we're in a bullish trend. We have London lows still intact. Also, this low still intact. I was thinking to myself, okay, we're probably going to get some sort of rebalance lower before going higher. So that's kind of what I saw yesterday. So as you can see, we have a where was it? Yeah, we had this 15-minute gap here. We came up, swept the high inside the 15-minute gap. We did get a change in delivery away from that, but we never came back and retested it. We also did get a 5-minute change in delivery here with a 5-minute gap that left open, but I'm pretty sure we didn't even tap that 5-minute gap. Yeah, so we left that 5-minute gap open as a breakaway. I saw that. I'm like, okay, dude, if we're going to open a 1-minute gap right here and then leave Asia lows and the monthly open, I'm pretty sure is what that was. What was that shit? Is that the monthly open? I don't know, bro. This line right here was some sort of opening price, which is where I took my take profit at. So I saw this 1-minute gap. This 1-minute candle literally closed below this 1-minute area here, this like kind of breaker area, I guess you can call it. So I just entered shorts right there. I'm like, all right, bet this looks good. Took my take profit there, and I was technically done for the day, but I kind of wanted a bit more. And call me greedy, I know, but like there was still a lot of time left in the day. I'm like, dude, this is only 9. It's only 10 o'clock in the morning, just about. So I was like, all right, let me see if I can catch anything else. So what I was waiting for at this point, right, we didn't really have any inefficiencies down here. Oh, excuse me. We did have this 1-hour gap right here. Wasn't really expecting too much. We could come down to it. We could not. I don't know. I'm just waiting to see what more we do. So just kind of let price play out a little bit. So we did come down to it. So we came down to that hourly gap. Could have obviously made way more on that short, but it is what it is. I don't really give a shit. Came back down to those relative equal lows, semi-relative into that 1 hour. Immediate rejection, right? Also the 10 a.m. opened lower on the hourly, so I saw that. I'm like, all right, cool. I told myself, let's see if we can get a change in delivery up here, and let's see if we can get an IFG. So I was watching ES, trying to make sure it was all aligned as well. We ended up getting kind of like a weaker close, so I wasn't super confident in taking this long yet. An ES doji candled, we didn't even get the inversion yet, so I kind of just wanted to wait. It was kind of sloppy. So boom, we got his TIST here. ES actually had displacement above it. I entered longs here, and I was looking to target this low right here. So it's like a resistance point. We like to bottom tick and top those shits all the time. So I saw that. I put my TP there. And what I was noticing was, well, we had a 5 and a 15-minute gap right here, which is a little bit slightly below my exit where I wanted to get out at. So all I did was I wanted to wait for price as soon as it kind of got close to stopping me out. But I knew that I was like, okay, if we're going to rebalance, the lowest we'd go is to this IFG. I wouldn't want to see it close below it, or else the trade would have been invalidated. Thankfully, it played out. I could have set a limit on that. That would have been a bottom tick, and I probably would have ended up taking some profits off. But who gives a fuck at the end of the day? It already played out. Okay, so once we were here, inside this 5 minute, I went break even, basically. So I was break even at this point. We were super close to the take profit. I'm like, all right, bet this might work out. And then boom, I get break even right there. So the micro chart had this gay ass wick, but the NQ chart did not. So I was like, all right, bro. I'm pretty sure if I took it on NQ, never mind, it would have stopped me out regardless. So what we did, we ended up coming back to that hourly. Right, we inversed this 1 minute gap. I thought about taking this because it rejected off of that. You know, we had basically decent closures just to these equal highs. Or were they equal? No, they weren't. On MNQ they were, but they were. It was still a solid like swing point liquidity. I was like, I just wanted to hold off and wait, even though it did work, as you can see right there. What I wanted to wait for was just more structure, I guess, because the 1 minute, I didn't really like what was going on here. Like, sure, we had a 1 minute inversion here, but at the same time, the 5 minute candle just opened 2 minutes prior, and the 30-minute candle was still open. So we had 30-minute open, or the 15-minute candle, sorry. 15-minute candle opens here, open, trade up, 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 and it closes right here. So I was waiting probably till like 11 at this point. I wanted to see if we could do anything else. Didn't want to kind of push any trades. We did get a 5 minute tap right here. 5 minute fair value gap right here. We tap it, but as you can see, we come back up to sweep the high inside the 15 minutes. So there's a little bit of hesitation there. And like I said, I just wanted to see more. I wanted to see a lot more. So what we did, we came back to the 5 minute, right? Came back down again. I'm pretty, wait, when did we manipulated one more time? I know we did. Come on, play the fuck out. There we go. Okay, so we manipulated one more time below these lows. Now, once I saw that, and I realized, okay, the 11 a.m. candle opens lower, I told myself, all right, bet, if we get a change in delivery above this high, I'm going to enter. So that's exactly what happened. Come on. So we got to change the delivery. I set my limit at that area. Boom, it taps me in. And then all I was targeting in this case was the end of this gap here, basically. So end of that gap was being targeted. And then, yeah. So let me just move that. All right, here. Cool. So took that trade with some decent size. And bada bing, bada boom. There's TP. I'm telling you guys, these levels, bro, if you mark these levels, like the structural levels of the lows and the highs, like, look at that. Top tick that shit out of the trade. And then goes a little bit higher. But yeah, that was basically the trade for the day. Okay. So coming into today, all right, today was a very interesting day. So today we obviously left the London highs, right? We left the London highs. We were rejecting off of multiple gaps over here during London. But what I was paying attention to today was all of this here. So, bro, I hate generating videos. Shit's so annoying. So what I saw was just, we were inside of a range, bro. Like, we had the Asia range. We had the London range. We swept the London lows. But at the same time, ES already swept the London lows over here. So we had the SMT. I was thinking to myself, okay, there is a chance that we can protect the Asia low. And the short that I'm about to show you obviously could have worked, but obviously it didn't fucking work, obviously. But what I saw was this. So, okay, I don't know why the fuck he keeps doing that, bro. But I saw this 15-minute gap right here. We came back up, we retested it. Right, we had the Asia lows, and in my mind, I'm like, okay, we're going to sweep the Asia lows to go back up to the London highs. That makes a lot of logical sense. But what I failed to realize was that I failed to hold my bullish bias. Because I realized and kind of knew that, okay, if we sweep the Asia lows and we SMT with that, we're likely probably going to end up respecting these lows. And they're probably going to be protected. So I saw that. I'm like, okay. In the morning, we get a rip up. Really nothing to take. I thought I was going to take the London highs. I was going to miss out on the trade. But what happened was we ended up respecting that 15-minute like I showed you. We had these highs still intact. We ended up manipulating lower. So you kind of can view this in like a way of like we had two Judases. We had this one to go higher to then go lower to take all this liquidity. But then we also had a Judas lower here to then go higher. So what I saw was this 5-minute IVG. I saw that we had some decent lows down here. Again, hindsight looking at it, I probably should have waited for just more shit. But again, I went in lighter size on this because I was already up for the week and I didn't want to like get fucked on Friday. So I set my limit here with a 12-point stop loss, really small stop, because if I wanted to see it go off of that 5-minute, I wanted to see it tap it and go. I didn't want to see it stall. I didn't want to hold my stop up here. So yeah, that's basically what happened. So I set my limit there, tight stop. Basically what happens is I get tapped in and then the next candle instantly flies higher. So I got stopped out, thankfully. Didn't get slipped or anything too crazy. But yeah, that was that trade. And I was waiting to see, okay, can we get anything else out of this? So we had a 5-minute inversion right here, as you can see. We have this fair value gap. We end up inversing it. And then on the 1-minute time frame, we also have an inversion here as well. So I'm waiting 950, boom. So here's 950. We end up displacing, creating a 5-minute change in delivery above that, which I thought was pretty interesting. So at this point, I flipped my bias bullish. We inverse that, inverse this gap, get a change in delivery there. Now, at this point, I saw this 5-minute tap right here. Boom, we tapped that 5-minute. And I saw this candle. I almost entered here. But again, I wasn't sure if we wanted to come into resweep because it was kind of a small sweep. I thought we might get another manipulation into it. So I just wanted to play it safe. We still had an unfilled 4-hour. And we also still had, what's it called? So we had London highs. We had an unfilled 4-hour right here. And then we had previous day equilibrium at the highs. So I'm like, okay. If I miss out on this trade, it's okay. But there is still a chance I could get a re-entry. That's just what I was thinking to myself. So wanted to see how we'd react off the London highs. You can see we swept the London highs. Now, at this point, I'm thinking to myself, okay, bet. Let's see how we could open up this 5-minute here. So we open up this 5-minute. Boom. We come back into that 5-minute gap. And we also come into these two. We come into this fair value gap here. And then into this discounted one here as well. I did end up getting filled on this one on some evals from my funded futures. And those are almost halfway to being passed roughly. So we basically come down, tap that. Now from here, I see, okay, we still have the unfilled 4-hour and the previous day equilibrium. So what can I do here? Literally at this point, I was just on the 15-second, which I don't usually do. But I was on the 15-second. And I just waited for shit to play out. So I saw this 15-minute gap here, and I saw this inversion here. So I was thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, I want to wait just a little bit. I don't want to get faked out by this inversion, so I waited just a little bit more. And then what happens is we end up inversing it nice and clear here. off of this candle, or well, 10, 11, we end up, I just wanted to wait to see how it reacted if we inversed it. So we inversed it, we retested it, we showed rejection out of it, and then we closed about this 15-second volume imbalance, which is really important for me. So I saw that volume imbalance close. I basically just entered as soon as it retested that area. Just kind of like a discretionary play. Because the 30-second didn't show anything, really. I was like, all right, I don't want to miss out. You know, we're probably just going to end up pushing up. So that's what I did. I entered here, 16-point stop just below in case we wanted to come back to rebalance one of these order blocks and or come back to rebalance this big-ass gap on the 15-minute. I think it was, yeah. Just in case we wanted to come back to that 15-minute gap. So what happened was we ended up coming to that unfilled 4-hour. I took my partial there, moved my stop loss to break even, and then I just held the rest of the position to the previous day equilibrium. And boom, there was a TP hit. And then from here, all I was waiting for was potentially some shorts just to rebalance back to the range. And that's exactly what I did. So obviously we took an L there, made my money back and some here as well. Now from here, I wanted to see how we would just react at the 4-hour gap. So play price out a little bit more. Okay, so we come up, right? We have this inversion, this fair value gap here that we retest off of. We do have a 1-minute change in delivery, but it's, I mean, why would you enter 1 minute before a new 30-minute candle, you know? So I saw that. I'm like, all right, I'm going to wait this out. We come up, manipulate one more time, sweep out the highs, get a nice candle closure. We get some displacement. We have a 1-minute change here. Wanted to see if we can come back up to this gap here, which never happened, by the way. We end up getting a strong displacement closure through that area. And basically all I was waiting for was I was just waiting for it to rebalance that area. So I set my limit just a little bit below there. Or was it a limit? Or did I market execute? I think I market executed on this one. But we got a change in delivery here. We came up, immediately rebalanced that area. So I basically went short right there. Because I kind of realized, I'm like, okay, dude, if we're bearish, we're most likely not going to trade a higher above here. And if I get invalidated and I get stopped out, whatever. Because you got to realize too, guys, I risked 12 points, lost the 12 points, right? And I made back 32 points. Well, with the partials, I think it was around like 28, 25, 26. Because like I partialed, you know, it's not going to be the same every time. But I was still up. If I risked the 12 points on here, it probably would have just been roughly a break-even day if I lost this. So I was okay with taking that risk. So that's all I saw. I was just, literally, I saw that displacement. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm just going to enter here. If we come back up just a little bit higher, that's fine. I don't care. I just don't really want to miss out on the trade. So that's what happens. We come up. Oh, yeah. Also, this was an unfilled 15 as well. So I saw that. I'm like, all right, bet. Come back up, retest, and then boom, TP. So that was a trade. You can see we actually end up coming all the way back down to that 15-minute, or sorry, yep, that 15-minute IVG. We literally bottom ticket, as you can see right there. Yeah, dude, I mean, that was pretty much it. You can see we rejected off the 2 to 2.5. We rebalanced to that. This is why I like to draw my levels out, because we'll hit them multiple times. I mean, you can get some crazy longs off of that shit. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure we went up after that. Yep. Yep, there we go. So, hit that level. 2 to 2.5 as well from the deviations. We also had a 15-minute gap, I believe. 15-minute order block, actually. And then we had a 5-minute gap down here. So basically 5-minute PPR, 5-minute gap. Got a 5-minute inversion here. Didn't take that long, but it looked good. A couple of my friends took it. So banger long there. And then at that point, I'm like, all right, bro, we're probably not going to do much for the rest of the day. Like, we're probably done. And then as you can see, lunch accumulates, come back up, sweep the high. New York comes back inside the range, comes down a little bit lower, comes back down, and market close. So, yeah, that was pretty much the trade. I probably could have held a little bit deeper to a discount, maybe to like this gap or the -2. I mean, trading is really, it's pretty simple, guys. You just don't want to overthink it, you know? Just stick to your plan, whether you trade a one model, discretionary, whatever the case is. Just stick to your model, follow your rules, and I promise you will make money. All right, bro. So that's really it. I made a decent amount this week. I'm pretty sure I made like a little over 40K this week off all the apexes and top steps. And then I also have this I also have these My Fun Futures that I'm trading. I'm copy trading them right now. So no activations. If we pass these, great. I'll have more funding. If not, oh well. But we should be able to pass these. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to please leave a like and comment on the video if you want to see anything else. I have a lot more stuff coming for the channel. I'm going to also post some backtesting videos. I'm going to record those soon, get those out for you guys, because I know that's definitely something you guys probably want to see me do. Because backtesting definitely helps a lot, as opposed to just kind of going on here and just saying, oh, this is what I took, hindsight, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, that's really all I got for you guys. Like the video, subscribe, and I will catch you guys next week for a banger week. But yeah, have a good rest of your weekend, guys, and I will see you guys later. Peace.